Hey everyone, this is Teresa Lowe, and you're watching Talk with T.LO, and today is January 21st, Thursday. Today we have some hilarious guests. We have Sally Mullins, and returning to the show is Aaron Michael Marsh. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Waiting for Sally to enter the room. In the meantime, we have a comment in the crowd. It's Harry Furball is saying, can you give a shout out to my friend Phil? So hello to Phil from Harry Furball.
Hello,
Okay,
Phil. From me, Aaron Michael Marsh.
and as we wait for Sally to enter the room, Aaron, what is new with you?
I don't feel like much has been new with me. I've been spending some of my stimulus money, enjoying life. I got a new president. That's a cool thing that happened to me.
That's nice. And he's going to give us supposedly $1,400 more dollars.
I know. It's like he told me, go buy those pair of Nikes you're looking at, Aaron.
I was
Here, on the government.
I was a little disappointed because he kind of promised $2,000. So I thought it was 600 plus 2,000. But
I did too. We all did.
Hey, Sally, she's in the room. Sally, say hello.
Hey, Aaron. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Sally.
What is new with you?
Well, right now I've got, can you hear the barking dog?
I cannot actually.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Problem solved. Well, just, being a pet mom, I opened a t-shirt store, kind of like, white trash dreams come to life.
Very cool. So you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Entrepreneur. This is one of my designs.
Oh, I love it. You actually wore a shirt like that when I first interviewed you for Hustler. And I remember that. It was one of my favorite things about you.
I've got to get you one. You can go to the site and I'll get you a free shirt, comedy swag, whatever the fuck you want. There's one that says daddy issues and there's one for cat people that says pervert,
I love it.
Does it say it in cat hair?
That's like every shirt. That would be good. That would have been good. I probably would have had to pay extra to the Fiverr guy to get that design.
That is amazing. I guess what is new with me, so Sally and I were talking about this earlier, is that we have a mutual friend, Aaron, who is in love with me and Sally. And so you on the poster being between me and Sally is kind of this mutual friend's dream. So we just wanted to share that with you, that you are living the life that this mutual.
And his name's also Aaron?
Well, we're going to give his fake name, which is Ray.
Oh, okay. Good on you, Ray. If you want to replace me, you can just pay the rent and move on in.
Well, he does at least sponsor our endeavors, but I don't think he's in love with me. I think I'm a conduit to get closer to the fabulous Ms. Lowe that he's.
Oh. No, he's supported Sally's OnlyFans way longer than he supported my Patreon. So I would counter that. I think he loves us both equally.
Wait, okay. Did he do this before or after you wrote with your feet?
Oh, actually before. He has been a long-time fan. We're actually a big fan of him. He is very supportive.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, Ray, I will send you pictures of my feet for me.
Well, we already see you've got a major cap fetish there, Aaron.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever cap you want, Ray. $50.
Oh, that is true. And I love that you have this hat thing because it's a very distinctive look you wear with the hat, with the jacket, and you even have a cartoon with that. So I like that look about you.
Oh, thank you. I like it. I feel like it's pretty average. I just happen to keep it consistent.
No, but that's important. It's like we always know what your look will be, which is very smart. Smart.
Oh, thank you. It's also lazy. I love it.
Hey, the fewer surprises. We don't want any surprises.
Yeah, but I'll show you. It's not like a lazy, like gross thing. It's just I have a bunch of the same T-shirt. I have a bunch of hats.
You're like a cartoon character, and I love it. It's like you're a Simpsons. It's like every episode you're going to wear the same thing.
Exactly that. Always clean, but always the same.
Always clean, and I like that too. You're always clean.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to start off with the show with a news article. I'm not sure if you guys know about Azealia Banks, but she's been in the news lately because apparently she dug up her dead cat and boiled it. And she said that the reason for it is she wanted to turn the cat bones into jewelry. And so Azealia Banks is already kind of a controversial person. And in the past, she said that she was into witchcraft. And so, you know, she's saying that this cat boiling is not witchcraft. It was more just to create the jewelry. But what do you think about Azealia Banks? I'm going to start with you, Aaron.
I like that she's like, it's not witchcraft. I'm just gross. You know, like that's a good defense. But on her behalf, I almost did the same thing once.
What?
Yeah. So when I was like 20 or 21 living in Tucson, Arizona, a cat died underneath my house. And it's Arizona, so it's trashy. So our house was actually like on little risers. So I went underneath the house, grabbed the cat and buried it. And then I was like, oh, you know, it'd be really cool if I kept that cat's skull, right? Like an idiot. And then my roommate was like, you know, you'd have to boil it. And I was like, I think I'm okay with that. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this to this person's, like, you know, a person, you know, this cat's body. The rest in peace thing really means something. I think making a grave for it and doing that properly was more important. So I did, but I did have the thought for about 2 hours of, I should boil it and keep the bones and do something. But I stopped myself. You know, like I don't think it's wrong for her to have these thoughts, but she should have stopped herself.
Yes. And not only that, she recorded herself and then online they took it down. I think too many people found it too disturbing, but she recorded it and showed footage. And then she showed footage of the bones. It was pretty gross.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Like, if you even hear what she's doing, like I did it once with a plant. So again, being from Tucson, Arizona, skeletons, cactuses have skeletons. So if you get a piece of saguaro or whatever and you boil it down, you can take the cactus part off and there is like a cactus bone that's inside. Oh. And I've done that before. And I think that's cool. It's a plant. It's a little different, but there is like something that's hard, like wood or bone that's in a cactus that's able to make it mold into itself. And even that's gross. When you're doing that, it is intense. And it is gross. It's gooey. It smells. I couldn't even imagine the smell part of the video that you don't get.
That's true.
Yeah, it's only for John Waters to beloved, I think, this video.
And also Brett in the crowd, he is saying cat bone jewelry is my favorite kind of macabre, I'm not pronouncing that wrong, psychological sickness. So Brett is on board with the cat jewelry.
Good.
What about you, Sally? What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I get it that you're younger and you didn't really know how to say macabre, but I don't know who Azealia Banks is because I'm older. So we're even. But I will just say that, Aaron, that was a cat that you just found, right? It was not your pet.
It was a cat that just decided to go underneath my house to die.
All right. Yeah. So
you
that
know
was
how animals
more like,
do that.
Yeah. I went off by itself. And I like that you left it alone because you didn't know that cat and you decided to just respect it and let it have the process of decomposing. Azealia, she seemed like she was an owner of this cat. Maybe she loved this cat. She wants to remember it in a special way. I mean, the cat's dead. It's not feeling it. I think it's kind of a respect thing and it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, if she really wanted to do it, that's fine. She wants to share it with her fans. She's that close to them. That's cool. She took a lot of heat for it. You know, I'm not hating on her, whoever she is. Yeah. Is it macabre? Yeah, it's macabre. But I feel like she loved that cat. How old was the cat? Do you know?
I'm not sure how old the cat was. No. But
she wanted, I mean, my ex, he just lost his cat. She was 17. He took great care of her. He decided he wanted to have her preserved, you know, taxidermy, and he needed $500 and I gave him that. You know, I didn't have to give Azealia any money. I'm happy about it.
She also did say she was just doing a form of taxidermy. And so she was like, why are you guys giving me crap? People do taxidermy all the time. So people do give her a hard time. But I also think she also wanted attention. I mean, definitely what she did was for attention.
You know what? She's cooler than Bella Thorne. So I'm fine with her.
What did Bella Thorne do?
Oh, Bella Thorne's a pain in the ass. She got on. Oh God, don't even get us girls will go off for days. She got on OnlyFans, Aaron, and she charged people outrageous amounts of money saying she was selling nudes, and then she wasn't nude. So because of the scam she pulled, OnlyFans like sort of froze its amount of tips, and a lot of sex workers, legit sex workers, took a financial hit because Bella Thorne is on there playing around like a child.
Yep, annoying person.
Very annoying.
Yes. I just want to give Brett wanted to give you a shout out, Aaron, saying baseball hat collection. So he's noticing your hats. And then Rich Young is in the crowd to Sally, and he is saying hello.
Hi, Rich. Rich is a really, really supportive sugar daddy. He's awesome.
Love it.
Your last show that you did with me. So I was like, it's good to see Rich in the crowd. I was thinking about like with Azealia Banks liking witchcraft and stuff. Like it kind of reminded me a little bit of when I lived in an apartment building in Koreatown. I had this really scary neighbor. And I remember one time, like she'd always have all these really big parties, and we lived in a studio, but she'd put a bunch of people in there, and then you could hear chanting. And one time one of them came out with a giant bucket of what looked like blood. And then they got on the elevator with me and my friend, and we looked over, I was like, that is blood. There's no way that that is not blood. And so we never knew what they were doing, but like, I'm pretty sure they were sacrificing animals inside of that apartment. And I guess I want to ask you guys, have you ever encountered the occult? Start with you, Sally.
Well, thankfully not, but I mean, you've got to really look out for black cats on the street in LA, because if they're homeless, they're in danger. And if there's a stray and he's black or she's black, try to get these black cats off the street and into homes, because this is happening. I mean, when you lived in Koreatown, what was this, like 2 years ago or something, or
Probably like 10 years, long
it's
time.
happening, and it's been happening, and it's going to keep happening. So, that's not just an urban legend. People are doing it. And luckily, I've not had to deal with it. I have 5 indoor cats. I mean, my house smells, but I willingly take that hit. Who wants to come over?
What about you, Aaron? Any occult stories?
Nothing too personal, but I lived in Tucson, Arizona most of my life. And it's a city completely surrounded by mountains. So people believe there's a vortex of power in there. So we would get a lot of occult people that would come and visit. And so I've driven past many like Wiccan weddings and stuff. I've seen that. And like, you can kind of tell it's a little more flowery. It's always like outside in the park. It almost looks a little more like a Renaissance fair, except they're not trying as hard as a Renaissance fair. Like there's a sincerity to it. So I've definitely seen that sort of stuff and been to my fair share of crystal like stores and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as like actually like dealing directly with it, no, but I wouldn't be opposed if somebody was like when I was a kid and they'd be like, oh yes, you can sleep over, but you have to go to church. If somebody was like, oh yes, but you have to go to this church, and it's an occult meeting, I'd go. I'd still check it out. Yeah, why not?
Okay, like what if you went to someone's house and you like pulled over the, like, let's say the blanket and there's a big pentagram or something? Would you be scared?
I'm not afraid of pentagrams.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I would be.
I've dated gothic girls. Like.
What about you, Sally? Like, would that scare you at all or no?
No, as long as you just don't fuck with animals, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to hurt a goat.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, well, let's talk about a little bit like Armie Hammer, right? Like he's. Would you be scared of an Armie Hammer type? Like I would be terrified. Like I don't know if you heard the recent news. Another girlfriend came out, said he offered to give her some sort of surgery to take out one of her ribs so that he could eat it. And like, this is actually a girl on the record saying it. So I'm kind of like, ugh, like that's too scary for me. So that's too much. What about you, Sally?
I'm all over this Armie Hammer story. I was absolutely thrilled by the fact that someone who looks like a Disney prince is a lot closer to like fucking Count Dracula. I mean, this is like a goth girl's field day. I think Armie Hammer's really hot, and I have been all over this story with a fine tooth comb and a fucking black light. And you know what? They're milking it. Like today, they're like, Armie Hammer was hit by traffic fines when he made an illegal U-turn like a year ago. Like they're doing anything to keep his bad boy persona in the headlines. But yeah, he has some cannibal kink, and I've actually done some cannibal fetish porn. So it's a big thrill to me that Armie Hammer might have like watched some of my work just as I've watched his.
Wait, tell me a little bit about your cannibal porn, and also Rich is saying occult humor, so he's loving it. So let's tell Rich your story.
Oh, Rich. I did for a private collector, probably in about 2003. There was a movie called Eat or Be Eaten. And it was, like minimal special effects.
Was it an all-girl cast?
It was myself and another girl. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And we were just, we were pretending to eat one another and, fake blood. And like, we kind of worked out a deal, and we were roommates, and we decided to, take from each other's bodies at certain times. And it was quite erotic. I mean, I'm straight, but I was into the kink a little bit.
Okay, well, that's good to know that. Like, maybe, it's good to hear from someone who has like a first person perspective that maybe Armie is just fantasizing. Like, we don't know if he's eating anyone.
Yeah. Well, Armie's a hot mess. Okay. I will say Armie's a hot fucking mess, because he was doing this like behind his wife's back, and he had a lot of kittens, as he calls them, on the string, and he was lying, and he was kind of pushing them beyond their limits. He should have just tried to find like one cool old fetish whore.
Wink, wink.
This is your personal ad to Armie Hammer to just give you a call, which maybe
I've been reaching out to him all week. I haven't heard yet. He's like, I'm into a lot of weird shit, but not older women. He's like,
that's
I like
hilarious.
Juicy meat. I like
that's
nice
where he draws
juicy.
the line.
Yeah. We found his line.
Tell him you have some extra ribs.
Yeah, tell him that. Aaron, what are your thoughts on Armie Hammer?
I mean, this is great. I think just to ride on Sally's train, like, yo, Armie, hit me up. I got ribs to spare. I got more ribs than girls. We could do this. Let's play this game.
Oh my God. I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to play with fire. So I'm like, I'm not going to put it out there. I'm like, stay away from me, cannibals.
That's
like,
also true. Yeah. I mean,
no, thank you.
I'm not anyone's barbecue. But I mean, when I do, I order ribs. What am I supposed to say? What's weird is that, like, she was talking about like making the movies with it, but it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably one of the least sexy horror movies ever. Some of the horror movies are sexy, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not one. And that's not where Armie Hammer's taking it. He was like, no, that's the hottest one. That's the one I want to live. And I do think it's interesting. He does like talking like this, but that doesn't mean that he's actually done anything like this. If that girlfriend showed me a scar.
Oh, no, he branded her. He cut her with a knife is what she said.
Oh, what was the brand? Did she show the brand?
I don't know, but I don't know why she would lie at that point, because you can
That's true. No, exactly. But branding's kind of crazy.
But like, cut her. Like I don't know what he made. I don't know if he's like cutting out her flesh or what, but it's kind of like, I don't know what level he got. And then the texts that were released that were supposed to be so scandalous is he would tell his kittens, like, I want to drink your blood. And we don't actually know if he actually did.
Yeah, I wish that somebody would buy an exclusive from one of the kittens and find out like blow by blow what went down in the bedroom, because they're like, we were manipulated into submitting beyond our comfort zones. How?
Yeah, no, that's true. Because I wonder about that as well, because like I'm into BDSM, but I don't like sadism. I like the dominant and submission stuff, but I don't like sadism. And so I'm just kind of interested, but it's like, it's always about talking before you do anything, right? So I'm a little bit like, if he told you and he's texting you and you're not running away and you're an adult, it's hard to say like you didn't know, because in BDSM it sounded like he did it where he told everyone explicitly what he's all about.
Oh, for sure. It sounds like, I mean, because that's part of the rules of BDSM is that you kind of introduce the topic before going all the way through it, so there's consent or not. Or is this more like a coaching scenario where someone's like, this coach pushed me harder than I know I could go?
Oh yeah, maybe.
So like I don't know. It'd be curious. I personally think this is the most exciting project Armie Hammer has ever been a part of. And I love Cars 3, but you know, like this is.
No, you're right.
I want to say, Aaron, every guy who I talk to all week is like, who's the fuck's Armie Hammer? And then I'll show them a picture and they're like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah. Like they've seen him in something or whatever. I think he just got too caught up in being Armie Hammer. And some of the texts, Teresa, the girls were like, that was a little much that time. And he's sort of like, yeah, I know. Like, I think, it's a lot hotter to think about Armie Hammer being into this sick shit than it is to think about, say, Jack Black being into this sick shit. And I think he got really caught up in the fact that these girls were probably so into him just for him.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of like with that weird 50 Shades of Grey thing where it's like some people in the BDSM community hate 50 Shades of Grey because they think he's like too manipulative versus like she wasn't a willing participant who joined the community. It was like this hot rich guy manipulated someone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they want it to be everyone's like knows what they want and is looking for it. But the truth is sometimes someone introduces you to something that you really had no idea exactly what it was you were into.
Yeah, that's true. That's why with the Armie thing, I'm just kind of like, I think it's too scary for me personally, but I don't know enough about it because I can't tell consensual or not based on these stories.
But also, have fun.
Have fun, yeah. Agreed.
And when I saw his name was in the paper, I was like, oh no, this is going to be bad. And people were like, oh, it's really bad. And I read it and I was like, oh, that's not so bad.
So moving on to the next topic. So in Spokane, Washington, there's a Starbucks store and a 37-year-old man hit on a 16-year-old. And I don't know if 16-year-old is considered legal in that state. So I'm not sure. But he got banned from the store. And so he went public and he was saying, like, trying to trash the store, like, they won't let me hit on this 16-year-old. And then he got a bunch of backlash. People were like, why are you 37 hitting on a 16-year-old? And so I guess my question to you guys is, have you ever had like a job that would allow that to actually happen? So I was like really big fan of Starbucks banning this old man from hitting on a teenager, but have you ever worked on it where it's like the opposite, where the boss was like, it's fine, whatever?
I feel like most bosses I've had would be like that. They're like, they keep coming in. What are you supposed to do? Not sell them coffee? And you're like, sometimes you're not supposed to sell them coffee. Yeah. Wait, so was the 16-year-old an employee?
Yes. And so they were their employee, which I really appreciated because I kind of remind me a little bit of when I was in high school, like older guys, like they wouldn't be 37, but they would be like in their 20s and they would drive around the school and hit on young girls and the teachers knew it and the teachers did not stop it. And I was always kind of like, why don't you guys do something about it? So I was like, I thought it was really cool about Starbucks doing something about it. Like, what do you think?
For sure. I think they definitely should. And I also think this, I'm not going to get into her age yet. This is a totally different thing. I think it's completely wrong for guys to hit on girls when they're at work because they can't go anywhere. It really is putting somebody in a corner where they have to be like at their most polite. And you're putting them in a scenario where they should be allowed to not be polite. And so like, I really feel like that's the first step of shitty, regardless, even if they're the same age. And then of course, because it is such a young girl, I am happy that the manager stepped in and was like, no, I'm not going to watch this become a thing. You're stepping out of bounds because that person's clearly stepping out of bounds. The negotiation is on how many levels. Yeah. Do you know if it was a male or female manager?
Oh, I'm actually not sure about that part.
Okay.
But like, I think I agree with you where it's like, yeah, when you're at work, you get sexually harassed and it's like so rare when a boss will actually step in, but it's like, it's not fair when you're relying on tips or any type of customer service. And so I was really excited when I saw this story. What do you think, Sally?
I always feel really bad for, women when they're in the service industry, especially if they're working at some place like Hooters or Tilted Kilt, where some guys, they're tipping 20% like anywhere else, but because of the place it is, they feel like I get extra chit chat, and, I get to kind of flirt with this person. So I always feel really bad for those girls. And I'm like, God, part of me wants to tell them, just get on OnlyFans or just be an escort because then you're going to make more money. But they don't want to do that. All they want to do is wait tables and get tipped for being a good server. So I'm glad that regardless of her age, the manager was like, you're holding up the line here. You're making her uncomfortable. And hey, guess what? She's also 16. Get out of here. We don't need your money.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the way that management is starting to change a little bit. Like for instance, even when I produce a show, I don't want to book someone if they have a reputation for any type of grossness. Like I don't want to deal with it. And then I see other people, even if they're warned, they will just kind of like let it go. But I'm kind of like, we don't really have to be like that anymore. It's like if you think someone's gross, why don't you take a stand?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We never had to be like that. It was a weird thing we put up on ourselves.
Yeah. No, I saw this really interesting Twitter thread where this girl said that when she was a young kid, her mom told her, anytime you want, you can just leave. And like she said, for example, is that she went to a slumber party and the mom was like, anytime it gets uncomfortable, call me anytime and I will pick you up. And the girl said that while she's at the slumber party, the girl started to bully her. And so because her mom gave her permission to leave, the girl called her mom and then everyone was like, you should just stay, just put up with it and just whatever. But the girl was like, no, my mom said I could leave. And so she kind of said that as she grew up, she never put up with bad situations. And she kind of was like, why do so many people put up with bad situations? And I was like, it's so true. We're like programmed to accept it. We don't have to.
We're worried about making them feel consequence for their own actions.
Yes.
And that is exactly what we need to stop. And we have stopped it currently. But it's also like, no. They should have consequence for bad actions. All bad actions should have the consequence. And we shouldn't be afraid to give it to them because they're dropping $3.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, when someone's creepy, it scares off other nice people. So it's actually better to get rid of the one creep and then 10 nice people will make up for it.
Yeah. Or even if no one else shows up, you can also just have better employees. You're not scaring away decent employees.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Because I bet you that girl's friendly, and I bet you there are some people that are like, just, oh, look, there's a friendly girl, and they don't have to she doesn't have to leave to feel safe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. You want people working there who are friendly and outgoing and like people. And why should they be punished for that by always getting, hey, so you want to go out? What time do you get off? Ha, 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 I mean,
exactly.
In my day, like in the 80s, when I was working at a diner, you had the boss hitting on you. You had the boss grabbing you. Even when you were in high school, the boss trying to drag you into the freezer,
Gross. Yeah, and it's
sounds very specific, Sally.
But exactly what you're saying though is you get punished for being nice, and it's like we need to stop punishing people for being nice. It's like
we need to start punishing people that are trying to victimize people because they're nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like I do like the change of guard, how we're like not accepting it anymore. So I think that part is cool. So the next topic I want to ask you guys about is dating apps. And so there was, I guess, a Reddit thread where dating app employees were sharing their darkest secrets. So I'll share you some of the secrets that the dating app employee said. So one person said at the company, they used to create fake accounts and chat with users. And it was a way to get people to continue to pay for the app. And then another employee said that there was a ton of unsolicited dick pics that were sent to women. And then another one said that the algorithms were just purely to just trick people into paying. It had nothing to do with actually helping people find love. And so I guess the question I want to ask you guys is, what is the shadiest thing that's ever happened to you on a dating app?
Do you mean shady from the app, like from the management of the app, like what you're talking about?
No, I mean, just like you're on the app, something weird that happened to you. Okay, I guess for instance, I'll start with me where I one time matched with someone and then we actually had mutual friends. It was on Hinge because so back in the day, Hinge's format was, oh, you're a friend of a friend. And so this guy was like really, really rude to me. And so I contacted that person who we had a mutual friend, and I told the friend, and then the friend was like, oh, he's a dick and blah blah. So I was like, okay, well, that part was kind of cool how the girl took a stand, but it still thought it was a little weird that the dude, even though we knew someone in common, was still so gross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So same with you guys. Like, what's a weird dating app story you've had?
So I mean, I don't have much tolerance or stories about dating apps or even success on them, which is why I don't. But my cousin actually sued Tinder and won, which is interesting.
For what?
She was a part of a class action suit because she was of a certain age where I guess they had that premium service. And if you're under 35, it's one price, and over 35, a different price.
Wow.
And so she was a part of a class action suit too, that everyone over 35 was paying for that, got their difference back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good. That rocks.
How much did she make, you know?
I know that it must have been more than she paid for, because I know it was thousands. She got paid like $10,000 or $15,000 for it.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was enough where you're just like, how long were you on the app? You know?
I'm going to fill out the next class action lawsuit that comes my way.
I fill them out all the time. Just it's like $10, $100 every. Like, it's so funny. I bought a Toyota like a decade ago, and then I got $300 because apparently they were racist to like non-white Toyota owners, and I was like, I didn't know that, but thanks for the money.
Because I worked in catering when I first got here. I feel like every 6 months I get some class action suit, and I sign a paper and send it back, and they send me a check for like $30-$40.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, what about you, Sally? Are you on dating apps, or have you ever been on dating apps?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have so many fucking, like, I was on cougarlife.com for so long.
Congrats.
It was pretty cool. But I feel, you know, I just have so many stories, but never really any scandalous stories that I could file a class action lawsuit or from the management. But I did have this guy really flip out and go ballistic on Tinder, and he was using a lot of racial slurs, saying I was going to go fuck other races. So he was calling them a lot of slurs, and he seemed dangerous and psychotic. And when I tried to report him, he had blocked me. So then, like 6 months later, he came back into my feed, and this time I got him and was able to turn him into the person on Tinder, like, you know, the Tinder help, whatever. And they were all over it. They seemed all over it. But that was just probably the most verbally abusive somebody I've never met has been to me. And as a white person, you don't hear a lot of like, you know, racial slurs thrown your way. But it was like, wow, I guess this is what Black people have to deal with all the time, huh? You know, so that was just really intense. And I you know, oh, holy shit. Like, there's someone homicidal on there, man.
Oh, yeah, there's some crazies. There's definitely some crazies. But I kind of want to ask you about Cougar Life. Like,
oh, yeah.
That was the Cougar Life story, or like, what's the, like, I mean, the title kind of gives it away.
Okay. Cougarlife.com. Let me just say, it's probably the unhappiest place on earth because they get these young dudes to pay.
How young?
Like 18 to 35-year-old dudes.
And how incelish are they?
Not so much. I mean, I had sex.
Good.
Well, not the ones I was fucking. I mean, they were getting fucked by me. I'll tell you that.
Hey, little fist bump.
I wrote to cougarlife.com one time, and I was like, look, I got to be keeping a lot of people subscribed to your site because I'm not all talk. I've slept with like 8 guys the past year. Why don't you guys hook me up with some money and I'll stay on the site and keep living my life? And they didn't get back to me.
Yeah, they probably felt like they couldn't
legally.
Legally. But I mean, how long were you on the site?
I was on the site for about a year and a half, and that was in my mid-40s. I was drinking a lot, and I hooked up a lot off there. And cougarlife.com charged dudes like $45 a month. And I think they really presented the site as like, you're going to get fucked, almost like it was like a brothel. Like there's these Horner older ladies. All you have to do is sign up and we're going to introduce you to them and they're good to go. And they had a billboard on Sunset right near the Comedy Store with like a hot MILF in a bodysuit. And it said on top of the billboard, cougarlife.com for motherfuckers.
Wait.
And
That's
they had to take it down.
hilarious.
They had to take it down. Okay. I was about to say but I do like how honest it is.
I saw it. I was like, yeah.
But I guess that makes sense though, because it's like, were the men kind of hot?
I slept with some really hot guys off there. I mean, some were better lays than others, but some were so fetished out by older women that like it was just, it was the fetish thing. They weren't really seeing you as a person. They were coming really fast. It was
Well, so what exactly age gap wise before it's a cougar relationship? Because it's like not going to be just 1 or 2 years, right? It has to be a gap, right?
well, to me, a cougar is a woman 35 and up, and she is interested in younger men. Like right now, you're in a cougar situation with your boyfriend, Teresa. So don't be like, I don't know what a cougar is. You need to look in the mirror.
No, I know that I'm a cougar because there's a 10-year gap, right? So I understand.
Yeah.
I have become a cougar during the pandemic. I realized that had happened.
I love it.
I'm curious if like for instance, if I was 36 dating a 32-year-old, is that a cougar?
No, because I think 5 years is within your age range. 5 years older, 5 years younger. If I'm dating a 58-year-old, I don't think that's your age range, 5 years. But I call 15 years, I call that extreme cougaring.
Oh, okay.
Extreme cougaring. Like that's like me with like a 37-year-old or something. That's good. That's extreme cougaring.
Nice. And have you had that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've slept with like 18-year-olds when I'm like 48,
Oh, nice.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. It's a really cool feeling, but it's both of our fetish. It's not necessarily something we're trying to go on and pursue, further. Yeah. How old are you, Aaron? I don't know if you say your age. Celebrities
I'm 39.
39?
Yeah.
You look young.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Aaron, what's the oldest woman you've ever dated, age gap wise?
Armie Hammer?
Armie Hammer. How old is he?
Dude, see, here's the thing. Can I just say this? And then I know I want to know about your cougaring experience. But can I just say, Armie Hammer, in his defense, motherfucker is only 34 years old and he's got 2 kids and he's got a lot of pressure on him. And his kids are not babies. They're like 5 and 6. I mean, Armie Hammer's like, he's doing drugs. He's under a lot of pressure. I'll just say that. Okay, I'm sorry. What was your cougar story?
No, I needed that for the Armie Hammers under a lot of pressure, and it's okay. I don't think I've dated anybody outside of my age range. I think.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Sally. That's not. Everyone's been within 4 or 5 years of me. Is that a problem?
Nope. It's okay.
Don't feel shame, Aaron. There's no shame here.
Yeah, there's no shame. This is a safe space.
I know, but she was like practically like, like, gay. You're like, it's not. It's
saying that about you, Aaron. Don't feel shame.
I'm
Look,
fine.
man,
I'm just saying it's pretty much all been within my age range. Nobody crazy young, no one crazy old.
That's good.
Good.
It's
healthy.
Incidental.
That's good.
Aaron, stayed
Aaron,
in your lane.
what is the kinkiest thing you've done, Aaron?
Okay.
Putting you on the spot because Sally and I revealed we're cougars, so I guess that's one of our fetishes.
Sure.
I think it was a fetish of mine until now. I guess now I'm a cougar. I've joined the cougar club. So
well, it sounds like you just happened to start dating someone that's so young. Sally was out there hunting. She was hunting young meat, But I don't know. I was just guessing. Maybe Teresa was out there looking for somebody young. She's like, I'm gonna set these dating app things on as young as legally possible. I don't know what your things are. The craziest thing I've done, I mean, like, because I said, like, dated a goth girl, like, so I've done some of the BDSM stuff and somebody's filmed it. So that's really cool. But That's every day for you, Sally. That's nothing crazy for you.
Yeah, but the fact that you're not like trying to make money on porn, but you have a sex tape, I think that's fucking rad. Like that's hotter than my fake shit. That's hotter than me doing a porn for money. That's hotter.
Yeah. I mean, I destroyed it after we broke up, but you know, like it was a.
Was this like a
It was a thing.
VHS or something? I mean, you're young. What?
Yeah, no, yeah, I was still very young when that happened. I was in my early 20s. And so yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, because it was just like, it's like how much of your ex's stuff do you keep? And then of what do you keep? And you certainly not that. That's the thing. It's like, no, that's for us when we were in the relationship. That would be weird for me to keep that going like now. If like 15 years later, Aaron still has that. That doesn't make sense.
I respect that. You're not trying to be like Mr. Revenge porn, you know?
No, because it wasn't made for revenge. Like that'd be a crazy thing. No. So like it's destroyed now, but that happened. It's not like it's out there. I don't feel like it's ever going to surface.
Right.
But that would be, I guess, the craziest. But I feel like that's really vanilla for most people.
But you're into goth. That's kind of cool. Like, are you into goth all the time or just once?
No, I just dated a goth girl for a bit.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I just imagine you're at Hot Topic, just scoping out women.
Just as young as possible. When I think of Hot Topic, I'm thinking teenagers are going in there, like discovering things. No, it just
discovering you.
Thank you.
Hot Topic, Daddy.
Yeah, apparently I'm the Hot Topic. I mean, because I would say really like my type is nerdy, and gothic and nerdy girls are almost the same.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on to the next segment, I wanted to ask you a new segment I've created called Random Reviews, where I just ask you guys what are your favorite products, and you just tell me. You can have a story or whatever. So it sounds like kind of lame, but I think it's kind of exciting. So what do you think is the best first date restaurant in LA? I will start. I guess now it's kind of different in the pandemic. It's like, who knows what's still open.
Yeah.
But I really like Bottega Louie. I think it's like sweet. Like I like the location and I think the food's really good and the atmosphere is nice. So I would say that. Start with you, Sally.
Well, I'm an older woman. Like nobody wants to take me for dinner. They're really scared I'm really going to be like 68 or something. So I just get drinks or coffee date. I mean, favorite restaurant, I guess some Starbucks somewhere. Maybe I'll get a muffin for being the age I said I was. But let me
hopefully not a brand muffin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like feed her some fiber, Oh boy, that's really tough. Okay, so like Los Angeles, Hugo's is really cool. Like I've had a good first date or two at Hugo's, and there's a couple of them around. There's one on Santa Monica Boulevard. There's one on Coldwater Canyon, and it's it's a lot of good food, organic and not too pricey. It's might be hard to get a table there, but it's a good first date place. Pretty chill. Yeah.
Very cool. My sister is saying Soup Plantation, and then Brett pointed out R.I.P. Soup Plantation. That was like one of my favorite restaurants. I guess that's the joke, is like Soup Plantation is gone. And then Rich Young is saying to you, Sally, Sally, I'm 68. So he wants to let you know.
He's always, Rich is really cool. He supported me on a Zoom show and everyone was teasing him saying he looked like George Carlin's little brother. He rolls with it.
That's awesome. What about you, Aaron? Best first date restaurant in LA?
My go-to first date is actually the Grove, because there's so many options.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have to think about that kind of thing, and I see what she kind of goes towards.
Oh.
And then it does immediately put you in a scenario where you can walk around and see and do things and talk about things by just walking. To me, like it's an enclosed first date. It is a first date all set up for you already.
No alcohol though, or do you still somehow drink at the Grove? Is there a place to drink at the Grove?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay, I guess I haven't seen that. Where?
Thank you, Sally.
Verified.
I like it. Like, but is there a place to drink? Oh yeah.
That's good. And then Brett is letting you know, Sally, that he thinks you look like Maria Bamford's twin sister.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a compliment. She's very pretty. Yeah, that's cool. Her. Yeah, my pug is not as pretty as her pugs, but I'll take it.
That's awesome. What do you think is the best shampoo and conditioner? I'm kind of cheap. I just buy Pantene and I love it. Like, I know it's full of just like that crap that weighs down your hair, but I'm just kind of like, just give me that. I'm not going to buy the expensive crap from the salon. I want just cheap Pantene. Start with you, Aaron.
I go Old Faithful because I get dandruff. I do Head and Shoulders, and it works. And I don't get dandruff when I use Head and Shoulders, so I've stuck with it. And every time I've strayed to another shampoo, the dandruff comes back, so I just go straight back to Head and Shoulders. So I'm not fancy. And I even tried fancy stuff. Someone like told me like some tea tree stuff. I went to that, but got all dandruffy again. So no.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about Head and Shoulders is like some of it actually smells pretty good. Like they have an apple scent, which I think is awesome. It smells really good. Sally, best shampoo and conditioner.
I like Palmer's. Palmer's has a coconut oil shampoo and conditioner. I'm almost 100% sure they're not tested on animals. Like most shampoos, a lot of them still are. Palmer's,
do those
also
animals like have like dandruff or do they shine?
Yeah. they gotta find a scratching lion.
But you know, my cat has dandruff sometimes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I just let it go.
Your cat sounds like a bachelor.
My cat is so gross. Like she poops and pees all over the house. Every morning I have to like look to see where she did it. Like it's always in a different spot. And I can't.
You should buy a litter box.
No, like the thing about my litter box is weird is like if it's disgusting, she'll keep going to it. But if I clean it, then she'll start pooping and peeing around the house. It's almost like she can't recognize the smell. But then if I let it be dirty, it's disgusting. But if I
you should just pee and poop in it right after you clean it. Yeah, you got to prime the pump.
Oh my gosh. And then one time, the question I was going to ask about is the best chain restaurant. And me and Aaron one time talked about this, is that Dupar's we used to love, and then it closed during the pandemic. And I was walking by the Pasadena Dupar's, and they even have for lease sign up. Oh yeah, because Sally, you and I did our Hustler interview there. So I love Dupar's, but it's gone now. But what is your favorite chain restaurant, I guess, of all time? Start with you, Sally.
I like IHOP.
Ooh, okay.
Somebody was saying it was expensive, like $15 for a burger or something. I'm like, who's eating the burgers there? I'm there for the pancakes.
It was International House of Burgers for like 2 weeks. So.
IHOP.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, their pancakes are very affordable. Like
I like pancakes.
You get so much food.
Yeah.
Yeah, diners are great.
Yeah. I think my favorite chain restaurant was Soup Plantation, but it's gone now. But I do love the Cheesecake Factory. I think they do it right. Like, Sally's face is like, no, it's not good. But I love their giant menu, and I love the portions being like so gigantic. Like, wait, Sally, why are you not into?
I've had some of the. Okay, I hate menus. I eat the same place I eat at the same. How am I trying to? I just order the same thing every time. I don't want to try new things. When I go to IHOP, it's going to be multi-grain pancakes every time. Maybe I'll have eggs and bacon with it, but I don't want to look through that big menu. I've had some really annoying loser sugar daddies take me there, and I've had a couple of friends like Bogart off me there. They're like, "Can I get a dessert to go?" And like hustling me. I've had friends like hustling me there. I have bad memories there, man. Yeah.
I love your complaints about this because it's very specific to just you. It's not the whole chain's fault. No restaurant's going to open and be like, let's get rid of menus. Sally doesn't like menus.
And it kind of sounds like it's just the people were shitty, not the actual restaurant.
Yeah, but I also like that the demographic is cheap sugar daddies, and that pisses you off.
And my user sex industry friends,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also hate other places I see cheap sugar daddies. Come on.
They're called
cheap early bird special. The cheap sugar daddies rolling in.
What about you, Aaron? Your favorite chain restaurant?
I mean, I loved Fuddruckers. I think they're gone now. R.I.P. Fuddruckers, but I loved them.
Oh.
Yeah, like for some reason I just thought they just made an excellent burger, and I would go and I would stop by the one in Burbank all the time when I would go to Flappers.
Yeah.
And then one day they're just closed and they're just gone. And I knew that was coming because every time I went, it seemed like there was less and less people. And even though it was a giant location, it still felt like a secret. You know, you walk in, it's like just yourself there listening to the golden oldies. And you're like, all right, I'm watching this thing die out. But I love Fuddruckers. I love most diners. I'm trying to think of something like real specific. Like I don't think I have a chain restaurant that I truly, truly love. Because I don't consider Dupar's a chain. Is Roscoe's a chain? I love Roscoe's.
Roscoe's is a local chain, but I think because it's so small, I think it still might be considered local. But I think
Yeah, because I consider that on the same branch as Dupar's. Dupar's had only like 4 locations total, so it was kind of a local idea.
I really love this Japanese restaurant called Curry King, and then they're gone. Like the pandemic killed them, and I haven't found a replacement for Japanese curry that's as good as Curry King. If you guys know of a place,
Come over. My green card husband, he'll fix you some. I know a place called Winnetka.
Are you guys still together, you and your green card husband?
Actually, we just finalized a divorce. We've been married for like 13 or 14 years in a friendship green card marriage. We were just too lazy and broke to do the paperwork, but we just finalized the paperwork.
In Hollywood, that's still a successful marriage.
So it's a really successful marriage.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Well, are you guys still going to live together? Because you're friends, right?
That's up to him. I mean, that's up to him.
Very cool. Let's see. What is the best vacation spot?
The best what, hon?
Vacation spot.
Vacation place to go.
Where's your favorite place of sugar daddies ever taken you that took an airplane?
As in nowhere, honey. My broke ass sugar daddies, like they try to make me buy the plane ticket. I'd rather stay in the fucking valley.
That's not a sugar daddy then. So the International House of Pancakes is as travel-y as you get?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess my question is, what are these sugar daddies then? Like, they don't sound like they're paying for anything. They just sound like they're dates.
I had a sugar daddy made me pay him back $2,500 one time.
Whoa, and why did you though?
I just wanted to do the right thing and cut out the drama.
Oh, but it's kind of like it's a gift. You don't have to pay him back, right? You didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to, but I felt really
Sounds
bad.
like he made it worth it.
Yeah. It just, it was weird. It was a weird dynamic. I mean, we're still friends, but vacation spots, like I like to work. So I like to, travel and like be doing a gig or something. But you know where I want to check out? Can I say somewhere I want to check out? Carlsbad Caverns. I want to check that out.
Okay. What is
that? That'd be really cool. I love Greece. I've been to Greece, but I haven't been since I'm 26. So I'm looking to go back to Greece, you guys. The islands, Mykonos, Santorini, fucking amazing. Greece, so beautiful. That's my, that idyllic kind of, that's my vibe. Yeah, I love it.
Really cool. Yeah, I really want to go to Europe. I've only been to the UK, and the guy I'm seeing, he's from Italy, and so he promised to like take me around Europe. And then when I told my family that I'm seeing a guy from Italy, and my older sister was like, he has to give all of us a tour. I was like, okay, it was supposed to be just about me, but I guess you guys are all coming along now too. So he's just, this white guy is going to take around a bunch of Asian people around Europe, so it'll be fun. What about you, Aaron?
I haven't done enough traveling. So I have a lot of dream travel spots that I'd like to go to, but I couldn't be like, oh yes, Spain. I've never been to Spain. I just want to go to Spain, so it's like, I've been to like New York and I've been to like Mexico, and I've been to a couple places in like I really did love going to New Orleans, but I would like to go all over Europe. I would like to go to some places that still feel a little rural, but still also a city. Like some of that sort of stuff. So I can think of 20 places in Europe. I'm afraid I don't have a really great answer for this because I'm so untraveled. I've only traveled to destinations when I've had a job or some kind of importance in that city.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. So I feel you. You know what? You can come with me on my family trip to Italy. You can come along, add some white people to the group.
Yeah, the problem is that if your boyfriend's taking you to Italy, it should be about the two of you.
Yeah, but my sister ruined it. She's like, everyone's coming along. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah. That's exactly. I'm not going to ruin it like your sister.
she's already ruined it. So you're invited to come and he'll tour us.
Well,
you know,
thank you for the invite.
language. So you're welcome to come along for this tour that my sister has created. And then, yeah, but I'm kind of the same as you. I'm not really well traveled. And so, like, you know, living close to LA, Vegas to me was always something really fun because it's close enough. Sally's shaking her head.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
I
like
hate Vegas, but I get it.
Well, I just feel bad that like a lot of millennials just have not had the chance to travel. And as Gen X, I mean, you had your passport in high school as Gen X, and your school was maybe going on an international trip, even a public school. And then in college, you know, living in Florida, I mean, at least you're going to go to the fucking Bahamas or something. You know, I just feel bad that a lot of millennials have not been able to travel. It pisses me off because I've been around Europe like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like total white trash. So
I feel like I'm just hand to mouth my whole entire life.
Yeah, I'm just too poor, but that's also my decision too. Because for instance, like my sisters have good jobs and then they get like paid time off and they have money to travel. And so it's more like just life choice. I just did not make a choice where I had money to travel exorbitant places. So
that's
true.
I feel you. I mean, I've been very broke since I got into stand-up comedy at age 30. So I get it. Only the last couple of years have things started coming back around.
Was it that comedy that's paying, or is it because of the adult industry stuff?
Well, right now I'm making money on OnlyFans, and I'm also making money off Amazon off my comedy special, and that feels great. So it's both,
Awesome.
really. Yeah.
That's cool.
And if you go
Amazon thing, do they pay you per stream? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine what crappy money you're getting off Amazon, but yeah, it's kind of like almost like having your content on Pornhub or something. You're getting paid, you know, pennies per view. But I've been getting checks for like $500 or $600 a month. It's awesome.
That's cool.
You know that we don't get paid on Pornhub, so we don't know what that's like. That's not. You're like it's like you know, Pornhub sends you those checks. I'm like, no, I don't.
But Aaron, I've seen you on there.
No, I destroyed it.
Goth daddy fuckers.
Hot topic.
Hot topic.
Where's my checks?
I met this older guy in Hot Topic, and he whipped out his cock, and I filmed it. He's a comedian.
I don't think I've ever met anyone at Hot Topic, so thank God.
Keep an open mind.
I'm open.
Oh my gosh. Well, because on OnlyFans and Amazon, do those pay way better than something like YouTube or something? Sally?
Well, YouTube is such a pain in the ass to even monetize because you can have thousands of subscribers, but if you don't have the viewable hours accrued, then you're not going to be monetized on YouTube.
Oh,
you can start OnlyFans tomorrow and be monetized. If Amazon accepts your content, they're going to pay you right away per views. But it really, I mean, it helps to have a fan base. Like if you get accepted because of your quality on Amazon, a lot of the rest is up to you. And if they see people checking it out, they'll move you up in the algorithm, stuff like that.
Brett is telling, or my sister's also saying she wants to come on this Italy trip with me and Aaron. And then,
we know.
And then Brett is also telling Aaron that you should start an OnlyFans right now. So you have a
Thank you, Brett.
I think somebody else is interested in Hot Topic Daddy.
Yes, somebody likes hats.
So Aaron, if you had an OnlyFans, what would you put on it?
Probably action figures and stuff. I'd be like, look at the baseball card I just got. I can't imagine. I don't even know what I would put on an OnlyFans. Pictures of pizza.
Oh,
that's how it starts.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's how it starts. And then my foot comes down on the pizza, and then it's a whole thing.
Well, what would happen is, like, Aaron would just be himself. He'd be like, I like hats, I like pizza. And then some guy would be like, I'll tip you $50. Can I see your dick? You know?
Yeah, and all of a sudden I'm like, what kind of lens you want?
That's how it starts. I had an idea for an OnlyFans where it would just be feet pictures, but like every video would just be me painting my toenails a different color. But I don't know if anyone would pay for that. I just feel like it's too basic.
No. I feel like somebody would.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it.
Sally thinks you should.
But how much do you have to put up? Like one new foot video a day? That's kind of a lot. Like it's very tiring to get like $10. I just don't feel like I'd get a big following.
Yeah, you would. I'd promote you. And like you would, you could do like a couple of foot videos a week. And then you could also just be like, hi, I'm hanging out. You guys love my feet. Just talk shit.
Okay, I'll think about that. Well, that's my OnlyFans idea is the toenail painting.
Works.
Well, we have reached the hour. This has been a lot of fun. Where can people find you? Start with you, Sally.
Well, if you like older women,
Yeah.
I am no longer on cougarlife.com. You can find me on OnlyFans at Ms. Jamie Foster. Or why don't you check out my YouTube? It's free, it's fun, and that is Sally Mullins Comedy.
Awesome. What about you, Aaron? Where can people find you?
People can find me at Instagram and Twitter at Aaron M. Marsh. And of course, I have my podcast. I have Is This the Way, a Mandalorian podcast, and also Putting Up with Aaron Michael Marsh, where I talk to comedians.
Awesome. And thank you guys for watching the show today. We will not be here next week, but we will be back in February. So see you then every Monday through Thursday.
Thanks
Bye,
for having us.
Bye. Thank you.